Wonder if we're live. I think we are. So let's assume so and crack on, shall we? If you do rock up, welcome to a very impromptu stream. Do this every now and then, where I just get down and yeah, turn the cameras on and away I go. So that's going to be tonight. We're going to do a bit of painting. Let me get things set up nicely. We'll just jump in. We'll just dog's having a bit of a bark up outside. I'll leave her too. Right. I think I'm pretty set up. Let's pick up some brushes. Let's do some stuff. Let's get something painted. Get a sheet on my wet palette. Grab some brushes. My wet palette needs a bit more water. 1 second. Yeah, so the plan tonight is to grab another Moonstone miniature. So we're going to go with this fella here. I actually can't remember the name of this guy. Don't know if I've got the boxes anymore. I used to have kept all the... Oh, 1 second, I might have kept it. 1 second. Let me go and see if I kept the box. He's on a bit of a chunkier base, this boy, so we'll see if he'll fit in one of my grips. If he doesn't, I will just hold him. Oh yeah, we're gonna get him in there. Come on, there we go. Right, he's in a grip. That's good. Let me go and see if I got the box. So yeah, this is the guy we're going to be painting tonight. So his name's Boulder. He's very much like Ludo from Labyrinth. Definitely the inspiration for this character is 100% got to be Ludo. There he is, carrying his boulders, his rocks, his friends. So let's get started and get some paint on him. I do like the colour of the trousers, so I'm going to go with that straight away. I'm going to go for this Militarum green. I like on the box art, he's got greenish trousers and the colorization works really well, so I do the same. Bit of a shake. 1 second. Where's my little buzzy thing? Here we go. Sorry if you can hear that. If you can hear some music in the background, let me know if it's a little bit too loud or not loud enough. Just a little bit of background noise, that's all it is. The usual process here, we'll slap on some contrast to get the majority of the base layers done, and then we'll come back and do any highlights or extra bits. Like for instance, I'm painting straight over the rope here for speed. I'll come back and paint the rope belt that he's got. Change some quick settings, 1 second. Yeah, I think this green works really nicely for model. Well, I suppose the next big thing will be to tackle the skin, I guess. Makes sense because there's quite a lot of skin on this guy. Now, the box shows him as having quite sort of pinkish flesh, to be honest. I'm not against that. What kind of fleshy colours I've got. No, feel happy with. 1 second. We've got Draco. I think that's quite dark though. Dark oath flesh, I guess, clues in the name. My kind of stream, licking and the dipping. 100% chef. That's what it's all about tonight. It's all about the licking and the dipping. Fire Slayer skin, I think, is quite reddish. Again, the clues in the name, fire. Trying to think what other fleshy tones I've got. We might go with the Gilliman flesh. That might be a bit too. We'll have a look. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Is that Auto 9 you're painting? It's not an Auto 9, Chef. I know you're obsessed with the Auto 9 or a Guyver bust. It's not a Guyver, but look, this is waiting for you the day you ever visit, mate. Look, there it is. There. Still got it, mate. Still got it. So if you can hear a bit of a vibration, I'm just doing the I think I've shown this before on camera, but I have what's called a vortex mixer. So it's one of these things they have in like science labs and stuff. So you sort of push this down on top and it vibrates the hell out of the bottle, so you can get your You'll have to send me the colour scheme you want, Chef. Yeah, I've got a feeling this is maybe a bit dark. Might be alright if I do it a bit thin. Maybe I'll mix it with a bit of medium. Your choice. Okay, alright, mate. So what I'm painting tonight is a character called Boulder from the game Moonstone, but it is obviously very heavily inspired by Ludo from the Labyrinth, which, to be honest, the whole game of Moonstone, most of the characters from it are from that kind of Dark Crystal Labyrinth type universe. So yeah, this is a very Ludo looking character, which will actually be the second time I've painted Ludo, because I have painted Ludo from the actual Labyrinth board game as well, where I painted Ludo, Sarah, the Goblin King, or David Bowie. I have at one point in my life painted David Bowie. Hey Lee, you right, pal? I am assuming Chef is probably tethering off his phone or something like that. I mean, this model is one of my nemesises because it's got a lot of flesh tone in it, and one of the things I hate painting the most is skins, like skin color. But we'll give it a crack. To be honest, this model, there isn't too much to it, really. I like to try and paint a model within that sort of 2-hour window, so hoping I can do this one in 2 hours. Let me know, guys, if the music's too loud or not loud enough. Maybe it needs turning up a little bit, or maybe it needs turning down a little bit. Only meant as a bit of background. Alright, cool. Thanks, Chef. Cool, thanks, Lee. Make sure I get into all the little crevices in his hands and stuff, but otherwise we'll let this dry. It's a little bit dark than what I was planning for, but that's all right. We can bring it up a little. Oh, we've got his feet to do. I forgot his feet. Let's make a mental note of what setting that music's on, so I can. Because I always ask every time. So it's literally on. It's on minus 38 decibels. Okay. Try and remember that for a future. Everyone else having a good night? Anyone else up to anything? Lee, are you working tonight? Are you now on break? I can't remember if you when your holiday started. Yeah, everyone else is good. By the way, this is a completely impromptu stream, so don't feel you have to be here, and only be here if you want to be here. If you want to chat or anything like that, it's just me turning the cameras on because I'm sat here painting. I'm more than happy to have the company and have a chat and all of that jazz, but no one needs to feel like I need to be here. Thursday morning, okay. You're working tonight. Well, hopefully, mate. Hopefully a quieter night than last night. I'm thinking what else I've forgotten there. Oh, bloody great big towel I haven't painted. I need to sit down with OBS at some point because I've noticed my chat box on the screen is still not bloody working. Very annoying. No, never mind. Never mind. I could see the chat anyways. Right, we've kind of blocked out the skin, we've blocked out the trousers, and now we'll do the hair, and then we'll come back and do the rocks, and then we can then move into the more interesting stuff. So on here, again, his hair is very green, but if I'm going to do a green, I want to differentiate it from his trousers. To be honest, his trousers, now that I look at it a second time, they're more of a sandy colour. That's all right. We can go with it. Go for this kind of camo green. It's quite a dark brownish green. I'm going to try and do something I've not done this weekend. I'm going to try, I don't know if anyone else is interested in this. I'm going to try and stay up and watch the Super Bowl. I've never watched a live Super Bowl before. I quite enjoy watching American football. But normally I'll watch the Red Zone live, or I'll watch the highlights the next day. So I'm tempted to stay up and watch it till the early hours of the morning. But the Chiefs versus the 49ers should be a good game. Chiefs going for back-to-back Super Bowls. To be fair, I think they've got to be the favourites, I assume. Patrick Mahomes is a unstoppable quarterback. Maybe I should do a painting stream. That would keep me awake. If I did like a all-night painting stream whilst the Super Bowl was on, I'd be able to stay awake then. I reckon I could paint for 48 hours, certainly 24 hours, no problem. This is always, as I explain my painting, this is always the worst stage for me. When you're base coating things and just putting those block colours down, it always looks the worst. You're always like, why did I bother starting? You just have to stick with it. Oh, I never saw that comment on Twitch. Oh, using contrast paints. Yes, I am using contrast paints. I tend to use contrast paints. If you're still around, I use contrast paints primarily for base coating, and then I'll use the other paints for layer paints and stuff like that. Sorry, I missed your comment earlier. My chat seems to have completely broken. I watch NFL here and there. I used to enjoy the rate. Yeah, I've last few years I've been doing the fantasy league at work. So I've enjoyed doing that, and that's led to then watching more and more American football and enjoying it. Yes. Yeah, it's easily distracted, aren't you? Uni. It's easy to ignore what's going on in chats and stuff when you're sort of head down in the brushing. But yes, my technique is ever since contrast paints come out, pretty much replaced base layer paints with contrast paints, and then I'll use layer paints on top of contrast or technical paints or whatever it is I'm doing over the top. I find it saves me a lot of time, and yeah, just for my style of painting and the level of painting, where I'm a decent tabletop painter. I wouldn't call myself a professional anyway, but yeah, I'm a decent tabletop painter, and for me, once you learn contrast paints, you can use them really well. I would never just slap them on as they are and go, well, that's done. I think you need layer paints to sort of add that, just that little bit of detail. But that was it. Nerdy Geezer, I was more into NBA. Yeah, I never got really into basketball. Although it's pretty cool to watch sometimes. One thing I must keep remembering to do is drink, because when you're talking, you get really thirsty. But yeah, we can crack on now with just blocking out again the stone work. So for that, I'm going to use Apothecary White. Just won't show, so I'm not going to use that. There is a slightly darker silicon. Well, it's too dark, I think. But I can always lighting it up from here, so. Again, I'd rather go darker and then lighten up than have to go the other way, so. Yeah, Uni, you said you started in painting, and that what are you painting? Have you gone the Warhammer route? Are you playing any other games? I know over on Twitch they only really have a Warhammer subject for painting. Unfortunately, they haven't really discovered that there's many types of water. Just don't drink yet. No, well, I've done that before, mate. Orcs Combat Patrol, nice. I think I have that box somewhere. Orcs Combat Patrol. I can show you one of my orcs. I think I have an orc very close by. Just a random one I did last. I don't actually have an orc force yet, but this is a random orc I did a little while ago. Yeah, I do want to. I think I've got that Orcs Combat Patrol you're talking about, so I'd love to. I am going to paint that up at some point, because painting orcs is just good fun. Painting orcs, you get to do pretty much anything you like, and they are great looking models. So yeah, definitely want to do a set to go with this. That was just a random one I had one night. I'd never painted orcs before, so I just gave it a go and was happy. Yeah, Michael Jordan for the basketball. I don't think is there a greater player? I guess people would say, is it Kobe now, or one of them. I can't remember the guy who passed away sadly, who died in a helicopter crash, didn't he? But there is it LeBron James is kind of like the big name now, right? I think Kobe was the guy who died, wasn't it? Thanks, mate. Yeah, I thought it turned out well. Like I said, I'd never painted orcs before, so that was my first. That was my first attempt at painting one. So he turned all right. Nice. Yeah, edge highlighting. I mean, basing's huge, right? You can make an okay painted model look great by doing good basing. If there was one tip I could give anybody, and it's a tip that I learned way too late, and it was a friend of mine, a guy called Warren, who does amazing base work, and he would admit he's not a great painter, although I think he paints fine. But he will throw a lot of effort into a base, and it makes models look pretty awesome. Even if the actual paint job of the miniature isn't stellar, you can make a model into a bit of a showcase by, you know, making the base have some verticality in it, having different types of textures in it. Almost, he likes to think of it as like storytelling in the base. So yeah, it's definitely worth not just slapping some gravel on it and painting around the rim and going, yeah, go, job done. You can get in the habit of making the base look good. You can lift the miniature quite significantly. Lee, have you watched the Michael Jordan program on Amazon? I know I don't know if you use the Amazon, but I know you've got other means or other tools. But the Michael Jordan documentary, not documentary, it's a what do they call it? Dramatization of how he got famous through Nike and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a really good show. Really good. Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. Yeah, you've all got to start somewhere. Don't underestimate what's outside, though. You know, twigs and things like that. You can easily break them up. A lot of people use things like coffee stirrers from coffee shops. Like, you don't always have to go and buy stuff. There's a lot you can get for free, basically. And yeah, like you say, picking up gravel from somewhere. Yeah. Lee, yes, yeah, it's called Air. Yeah, it's good. Oh, I didn't know there was a Netflix on. No, I'd like some skeletal bone. Snake bite. Skeleton horde. I'm running very low on skeleton horde. It's a very good bone colour. Problem is, so much stuff has got bone in it, so. Oh, The Last Dance. I'll have to look out for that one. Good to see my chat windows popped into life. Okay, right. I do need a colour for his shoes. I'm gonna grab like a snake bite leather. That's leather would do. Snake bite leather works for me. Good colour for sandals. Good thing is I don't have to be tidy because it's all going to get covered over with the basing anyway. When you say eye opener, Lee, do you mean like into the sort of shady world of the NBA, or just into Michael Jordan's life himself, or? Because the Air program, how true it is, obviously, you know, you assume it is because you assume it was signed off by them and everything. But that really portrays his mum as being like a sort of a business genius, really. Obviously, he had the talent. He was the, you know, they took a bit of a chance on him, but he was clearly spotted as being a talent. But it was the mum that kind of put together the deal with Nike, and was very cute at doing that. You know, really his involvement was minimal from that point of view. He was at that point probably more interested in signing up with a different shoe. Oh, okay. I'll have to watch it then. Maybe that'd be a good one for the people that don't know. There's some live streams that I'm involved in, and one of those live streams is called No Late Fees, and it's all about movies and pop culture and stuff like that. Maybe one of those would be one night we could cover like best sports documentary slash dramas slash, you know, whatever you want to call them. The good ones and the bad ones, maybe. Because I've liked some of the ones, obviously being into the NFL, some of the all or nothings on Amazon, they're really good. They do some football ones as well. They basically follow a team throughout a season, and, you know, sort of give you an in-depth view into the world. I believe they're doing one on Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, I believe. Before he moves on. Right, and now I'm going to use some grey sear. So I am actually switching, even though I said I don't use base paints. I do use base paints, obviously. Not very often, but I am going to use grey sear, because grey sear is like an eraser pen for contrast paints. So where I've gone over some details, I'm going to use this to tidy up, essentially, and that means I can go back in with colour afterwards. So whilst all that contrast paint is drying, because contrast paint is a very wet paint, it's a lot slower drying than your average layer or base paint. Right, let's see if this is mixed. I am going to use a smaller brush. Maybe not this small. I've actually got a really, really small brush in my hand. I don't need a really small. I just need a smaller brush. Right, so because one of the things I need to correct is obviously this rope belt around his trousers. So I'm gonna come in. We're just essentially putting a base coat back on this belt. So I can come over with a light brown or whatever paint I want to give it back its color. If I try and go over the green, the green will just show straight through. The same here, I'm going to catch his teeth. Kind of like these two little fangs sticking up, so I'm just going to and catch his eyeballs while we're here. Everyone tips for painting eyeballs. Brace your hands together. So I try and push one hand against the other hand to give me that stability, so that when I go in, I'm not shaking. So you know, in this instance, I've got like my fingers pressing down on my tip of my thumb here. Let's make a really strong connection. Then I'm able to be quite steady when I go in, so my hand isn't shaking, painting things like eyeballs and stuff like that. Otherwise you can find yourself, yeah, most of the time it's just about almost like squeezing in on whatever it is you're painting. That's why a paint handle's really good. If you've not got a paint handle, you can use the top of a paint pot, you can use pretty much anything you can hold. But actually the paint handles from Games Workshop, whether it's the old one or the new one, are both really good and not very expensive. I think they're like £5 or £6, or they were when I got them, I think. So for once, one of their products wasn't economically priced, and it does make it easier for holding miniatures whilst painting them. Like, because you know, I'm doing very small details there and painting his toenails. Most of that's achievable because I'm able to have very steady hands. You just can't see his other fingernails, they're kind of off to the side there, so that's all right. We'll accept that. That's jolly good. Right, he has got a few rocks sticking through his fur here, so I'm going to use the grey to base coat the tops of the rocks again, and then come back in with the basilicum grey, colour them the same as the other rocks. So it's just like odd rock here and there formed on his skin. We'll leave him like that. Okay, we might as well start the process now of highlighting and up and sort of doing all that jazz. So let's do that. I would like, let's start with the, we might as well get the skin done. I'm not going to be happy till it's done, so I'm not using Bugman's Glow, that can do one. Canadian flesh tone is probably what's on order. I'm going to go for a less is more approach. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting, and then just see what it looks like and then decide where I'm going from there. As I said, highlighting skin is one of my least favorite things to do. Oh, ET question, original or special edition? You know what, I'd probably have to say original just because I'd know it better. I feel like the original's the one I grew up with. Like, I know it's easy to say the special edition because it's a special edition, but sometimes I have to wonder if they add any value to the film. Did I see rightly the other day, Lee, that they have confirmed that Henry Cavill is going to do the so they are going to reboot the Highlander? I think even though I really like Henry Cavill, still don't want them to do it. I mean, his sword fighting skills in The Witcher are awesome, and I have no doubt that he can spray it, but I just don't want him to mess with it. Ah, okay. Yeah, so I can't remember. That's a good detail to remember. I can't remember that too much. But yeah, I think to me that the original is just, I don't think it needs a special edition. It's quite perfect as it is, right? Yeah, so I think I saw a thing the other day saying that Henry Cavill is signed on for the reboot of Highlander, which I think, you know, it's a great choice of individual. Although I could argue that maybe one of the things that makes Christopher Lambert so good at the Highlander is he isn't like a superhero. He isn't like built like a brick shit house who looks like he can kill everyone. He's quite unassuming character in Highlander, isn't he? I know everyone bitches about his accent, but I think his accent's awesome. I think he comes across as someone who's from lots of different places, as he says. Where you from, Nash? Lots of different places. I know some people don't rate the Highlander movie, but I freaking love it. Probably because I love Queen as well. And people say if you looked at the movie alone, it's not a good movie. It's basically one long music video, and I'm like, yep, and I love it. Seen that film so many times. But so far, I don't hate this skin job that I'm doing. I think keeping it minimal, very thin layer of Cadian flesh tone here, just sticking with the raised areas, even those shadows alone, is the way to go. Not sure about the feet. The feet could be difficult, but I'm not too worried because feet, I'm gonna dirty them up anyway. Gonna get dirtied up with some pigment powders and the bits. Yes, only the first one was good. I mean, that's undeniable. I don't even talk about the second film. In the second Highlander movie film does not exist, and I wasn't even a fan of the TV show with Duncan MacLeod. I didn't even like it. I have seen a couple of episodes when Connor MacLeod comes back into them. I'm not sure how they explained that away. I wasn't really, you know. Because it's like, oh, so you were the one and now you're not the one because there's other immortals around. How does that work exactly? I thought you were the one. I thought you won the prize. Oh no, it turns out there are other immortals not in the quickening or something. I don't know. And then I think Duncan MacLeod, doesn't he behead Connor MacLeod in like the final season or something? Or one of the movies or some shit. Anyway, yeah. The first movie is the only movie anyone should be watching. And then Highlander doesn't exist after that. Yeah, I'm not hating the skin, which is unusual for me because normally I do, but it's all right. It's not too bad. That's it. Yeah, I remember the movie. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't he do? He does some maneuver where he traps Duncan's sword, doesn't it? So it's like he, they have to, like he can't basically get out of the maneuver without chopping his head off or some shit. I have probably half watched it and was probably disappointed throughout. So yeah. One article called "The Source is Horrendous." Wow, yeah, I definitely haven't seen that one. I mean, that obviously I'll be well up for it if this is someone giving it a proper story and it's a reboot of the entire Highlander universe with proper sequels. Then yeah, if it continues that initial premise of the movie, you know, this is, I don't know, yeah, then I'll definitely give it a chance. And I think Henry Cavill can definitely do it. Like I say, I think his sword fighting in The Witcher was fantastic. He's definitely got a skill. Now, obviously, it would have been a mixture of him and stuntman, but he was very believable in that role, and it's a shame he didn't continue it. But yeah, let's see. I'm going to stop fiddling with the skin now because it's actually looking okay. I'm in danger of going that one step too far and then hating it. Let's move on to the trousers. Need to kind of go with kind of green. In the Guardian. Fighting a giant newspaper. I do appreciate you hanging out tonight, Lee. It's very nice. This is maybe a bit too light. Even like the first Kelly, hello mate. Hello. Welcome in. You're doing alright, mate? Studying's going okay? Yeah, so just giving his trousers some highlights in the creases and the folds and stuff like that, just so they don't look super flat. But because of the contrast paint, the recesses have already been taken care of. I can just focus on where I think the ripples are. That's probably a bit thick. The only danger, and get a bit overzealous. Away. I'm trying to do it in quick little strokes. It's very easy to just apply too much pressure, have that spread out more than I want it to. Can't believe you missed my joke. Oh man, I have missed your joke. Hang on, where is it? Where is the joke? Oh no, now I'm going to sound bad. I think Cavill should be... Cavill could play... Let me just read what I've missed. I'm pretty sure I read the rumour is Highlander. Yes. Cavill should be the Kurgan. Yep, he should be. Well, I think... Yeah, he could definitely play a good Kurgan. You know, I'm not sure you'd get him to shave his head. Well, I suppose you'd have to reimagine the Kurgan. They did a film called Endgame. Yeah, read that bit. The one after called The Source was horrendous. If you're gonna be a bad guy, if you know, if a bad guy is called The Guardian, it's gonna be crap. Oh, I don't know what the joke is. If the fact that it's the, I mean, that would be a crap. Sorry, Lee. I haven't meant to offend you. It's probably me being slow than your joke being crap. I can't believe I can read things quite literally sometimes. Right, I now would like a more vibranty green, maybe not this vibrant. I feel like I'm being very slowly. I put after the Guardian. That's missing on. Why is that not? I haven't got on that. Where is that joke? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Lee, the last thing I says on my screen is, you know, if the bad guy is called the Guardian, it's going to be crap. And then Skelly comes in and says, "Evening all," and then you come in and say, "Can't believe you've missed my joke. I'll get my coat." Like, unless I'm missing something. Maybe you've been censored and I don't know. This is way too green. This is way too. I'll dull this down a little bit because that green. I'm about to stick like a vibrant green in his hair, which feels way too vibrant. Yeah, it's not me. It's not just me, is it, Skelly? you got nerfed by YouTube. That'll teach you, Lee, for having your, you know, dream views. You got silenced by the machine. Rightly so. I'll be trusted with your, you know, keyboard skills. I'm too raw for YouTube stuff. Absolutely, mate. How have you not been kicked off already? You are not for a modern audience. You do. No, it means modern launch. You know, you need to adapt. You want to be YouTube famous, you have to adapt, don't you? There you go, he's starting to take shape. I can see the sort of the highlights coming out in him now. I thought you might say that. I thought you might say that though. Right, I am gonna grab some. I think Skelly Bone's not gonna cut it, so I'm gonna grab some. Need a brown that's not too harsh, basically. No, it's not weird at all, man. Painting streams are very, very chilled. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy watching them because, yeah, sometimes they are very just zen-like sometimes. So yeah, don't. There's no weirdness. I won't start, you know, licking your ears down the microphone or anything. Don't worry, it's not that kind of stream. There's stuff on Twitch for that if you want that sort of thing. Yeah, these painting streams are, yeah, I think are well known for being quite zen-like environments. Why a lot of people like them. You're very welcome. I also recommend it as a hobby for that very reason. If you're someone who's like, you know, very busy individual, maybe got lots of, maybe you're very sort of tied to computers or that sort of thing, painting miniatures is a very chilled way to sort of disconnect from everything, and just it's probably the same as like jigsaw puzzles and stuff like that. They're very sort of slow down to a crawl, chill, yeah, types of things. But you're very welcome to hang out. Yeah, I appreciate seeing new faces. Polar Fish Ice, hello there, hello. Again, welcome, come and chill. It's probably one of those very, very chilled streams. There'll be no explosions, no headshots, no abusive lobbies. Just a dude painting a miniature. Talking some nonsense if people want to talk, but otherwise, yeah, we can. I mean, trust me, I've streamed to 0 people before. So, well, actually not before, like many times have I streamed to 0 people. Sitting in silence is also just nice. Much rather people to talk to, but the beauty of this sort of thing is just crack on. And hopefully end with a nice little miniature to add to your collection or your game or whatever it is you're doing. Yeah, mate, I'll give that some thought. You know, definitely do that. What would be really cool is to rescue other people's miniatures. If people bought a miniature online and they wanted to send it to me to repaint it or something, that would be quite cool. I don't know what to do about these Boulder earrings at the moment. I'm going to just go on with what I've done with the others, and then I was thinking I could paint them like a warpstone color or something like that, or a moonstone color. Could still do that. They're not just dull. That's what he's basically got hanging from his ears. Rock jewelry. Yeah, I thought it'd be pretty cool if you sent me something, I would then paint it live on stream or something and then send it back to you. Maybe it was something you painted and you wanted someone to sort of take it to the next level or something, or it was a paint job that went wrong, or you bought something off eBay and it needs rescuing. You don't want to sound arrogant with it, but like, you know, if someone was like, hey, I've got this to the best art I can get it to, could you look at taking it further or something like that, you know, with a base or even a full old repaint. Let me give it a go. Turned out pretty well for your dreadnought. But your dreadnought turned out better than I've to be honest. When I was using that technique with the oil washes, I genuinely didn't know where it was going to go. That could have gone horribly wrong. That's why I was like, when I spoke to you, I was like, I want to try something, but I need you to be okay with me trying something. Always, mate. Have a good sleep, my friend. Hopefully, this has chilled you out a little bit before you go to sleep. But good night. That's always nice to see someone new in the chat. I love everyone else, but it's nice to. Oh mate, I was bricking it when I first did that. Genuinely didn't know what was going to happen. Oh nice, ASG. You alright, buddy? Coming in and saying hello, bud. I managed to get through your top 100 video today. Very, very cool. I'll accept that RK Plus was 6th. I mean, you know. Although I've got to admit, some of the there's a couple of games in the sort of the top. The flight game in the top 5, I think, was a stretch, but a really good video, mate. It'd be such an awesome collection to go for if someone went for the ZAP 100 collection, because I mean you'd have an amazing collection of games there. Oh, now I feel left out. Now I've got to look at the WhatsApp group. This is not fair. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, that's painful. We should get all the Commodore enthusiasts together to do the top 10s and culminate it into a top 100 or something. I don't know. You removed all the duplicates. Top 100 as defined by the fans of Commodore. That'd be a true list. I need to bite the bullet and do a top 10 video. I've never done one really, like my Commodore and the Amiga and other systems. I always feel like I'm just repeating what someone else has already done. Yeah, and no, you know, you're right, mate. You're right. I haven't looked at your video to see if you've had any interesting comments bet the actual Zap 64 guys will like it. It's a good amount of effort going into a video. It's definitely content they can use themselves. The new editors and that of old retro recipes. Now the editor, isn't he, of Zap 64? Here we go, so we're like highlighting the rocks up on his arms now, on his head. I need to do this tail because I actually missed it. So I'll quickly repair that now. It's always the way when you're painting miniatures, there's always an area you miss. Luckily, it's not a biggie. Let that dry, and then we can just touch it up a little bit. Alright, so skin, trousers, hair's done, rocks done. I want to re-put this shadow in. I lost this shadow a little bit. I got into painting miniatures in 2015. I'd never painted a miniature before. I fancied doing it because I wanted to do something with the kids where I could keep them. I knew they were going to be into video games and computers because, let's face it, their daddies. So I wanted to get into a hobby where I could have something other than video games to get into them with. And obviously you walk past the Warhammer shops all the time, and I was like, I always like to look at the miniatures and the paint jobs and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I said to my wife one year, I fancy giving that a go. She bought me a box set called for my birthday. It was like called the Isle of Blood. It was High Elves and Skaven, and that was it. Just started from there, really. Just started painting them, and then, you know, throughout the years, so yeah, I've been coming up to what, 9 years, but I've painted on and off. Like last year I hardly painted anything, and when the first few years I was hardcore, I was painting all the time, but then in the last couple of years I've kind of drifted off a little bit. You know, just other hobbies, other interests, but I always come back to it. So yeah, been painting since 2015 roughly. Hey Tetling. Yeah, so I'm not a good. At this stage, like, I will never be a great painter. I am a okay. You know, I'd say I'm a good tabletop painter. You know. You know, I can paint to a level where most people would pick up the miniature and go, "Oh, that's a nice looking miniature," you know. But I would never enter like a competition or anything like that. Like, my painting is not competition level painting. It's just a good tabletop paint job, you know. Just something looks nice. I mean, she may have been thinking that, OSG. I'm sure now that I'm sat at the bottom of the garden in a purpose-built lodge full of this stuff, she probably is thinking that a little bit, but Too late. I've got it all now. Right, I do need to do some horn highlight. I'm going to use some Ushanti bone, which is not like the dagger from Golden Child, the Ushanti dagger. Let's check on I wasn't even sure if I was still live on Twitch, but apparently I am. Here we go. We're still live on all of the things. Oh, this is not fair. Everyone's checking their WhatsApp, and I feel like I'm missing out on the sweet WhatsApp action. I don't like the colour. A little bit. I told her I wanted the Matchbox Racing Chase old scale electrics used to have. She said, if you buy that, I'm leaving you. I got outbid last minute, so we're still together. Did she, Doris G, did she outbid you? She just read it off. She was like, look, I'll just win it and I'll resell it or something, or I'll chuck it in the bin. To save face, she just outbid you on eBay. OSG, she can't possibly have a complaint, mate. You know, you're on that YouTube gravy train. Come on, man. Your nerdiness has led to YouTube fame. Oh bugger, touched the hair with a brush. Able to wick it away fairly quickly. That comes from when you're not concentrating for a moment, you will make a mistake. Right, let's grab a tiny little brush. Let's try and make an eyeball. Shall we try? Shall we dare to tempt the eyeball gods? See if we can make an eyeball. Not with that paint, I'm not. Let me grab this one. All right, thanks, mate. Dude, work's only just finished. Jesus. Job sucks, Skelly. Let's get out of there. I think you're getting some sweet, sweet overtime. Right. Even these eyeballs are going to be hard for me because I can't even see them. So, bloody hell. I'm going to have to try and make a line here. Man. Got dramatic music on. Out of hours firewall upgrades. Oh, mate. Exactly, man. Come on, that surely should have been scripted. Where's your failover pair? You should have failed over, you know, seamless updated, failed back. Man, that sounds like a flaw in your design, Skelly. Right, I've managed to get black dots in there, but I've also managed to give him a little bit of mascara as well, so if we can bring it out. Not my best eye job, but again, for tabletop it is an eye. He's got eyes. That's what we're going with. To be honest, if you're in the Hobby Lodge and you're looking at my models this close and you're looking at the eyeballs this close, I'm going to tell you to leave. Tron 3! I don't actually mind the new Tron. The Tron was good. It wasn't brilliant, but it was definitely watchable. I enjoyed the light cycles and all the Tron-y bits in it. And it ended... The ending where she's then in the... Is it a continuation from Tron 2? Lady Geezer? Is it a follow-on? It's not a reboot? I mean, it's Disney, so it's gonna suck, but, you know... They seem to only want to make sucky things at the moment. They don't seem to be interested in making non-sucky programming, so by definition, yes, Lee, your question will be a mess, because they don't seem to want to listen to the fans of their franchises. So yeah, I mean, if it follows on from the third one, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not interested in making stuff that the people that grew up with it and spent all their money on it are interested in seeing. They're interested in making content for people that don't go to the cinema to watch this content. I'm making it for an audience that doesn't exist. So, yay, go you. Don't be too surprised when no one sees it, because that non-existent audience didn't go. Good luck. Yep, true. Very true. Well, we've got a few little bits and pieces to do, guys, but 2 hours ago this was a blank miniature, and 2 hours later we are looking pretty, I think, pretty okay. Yeah, I mean, the first film is a class, it's another childhood classic. You can't go wrong with it. Second one I liked as well. The de-aging CGI is a little bit rough. I didn't mind it so much when it was in the Tron universe, because then I can be like, oh well, he's a computer generated a likeness of Flynn, so you know, yeah, that works. It's actually probably better than him playing it himself, but he wasn't too. But the de-aging at the beginning of the film was a bit rough. It's a minor complaint. The rest of the movie was pretty good. I liked the female character in it, the IOs, weren't they? IOs. Obviously, being a bit of a techie, I love how they do actually make reference to technology and how it's being represented in this kind of fantasy world. So that's really quite cool. You know. So yeah, there's lots of positives about it. It will be really interesting to see what the story is of this next one. Oh, nice. How fun is that? We're just talking about Tron, and the music that's about to come on is definitely a Tron inspired version of that song. Because in that movie, the Daft Punk soundtrack in that movie is very cool as well. It's a perfect band to have in the Daft Punk universe. Sorry, in the Tron, in the Daft Punk in the Tron universe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's enough different to be copyright free. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, the end of the line. Yeah, which is a programming reference. So, you know, they were good. They used a lot of stuff from you know what you would find in the insides of a computer in reference to how various elements work with each other. You know, transport buses were represented, all sort of, you know, obviously very simple stuff like binary things. It was it was well done. I enjoyed it, and they put some classics in there, like obviously the light cycle racing and the Tron disc fighting. And obviously they was able to, yeah, it's a shame that Tron dies, but they obviously they redeem him. He obviously, well, I don't think we actually ever see Tron die, do we? What's his new name in it? Is Renslar or something? Or oh, does he? I couldn't. Renslar. So I couldn't remember if you see him die. I couldn't remember if I know he kind of sacrifices himself, doesn't he? Right, I'm gonna do some quick highlights on these sandals, and then to be honest, I think he's done. Obviously, I'll be basing him like the others with sort of forage foliage and the little colourful plants I've been using to represent sort of like the magical forest floor. These guys are out hunting the moonstone in. But now I've just painted his base black just so you can see the miniature without like the ugly looking face, but that'll all disappear anyway. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. You know it all, Skelly. Come on. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna joke though, because my network engineering knowledge is I can get by in a simple environment, but once we get into anything complex, I'm like, yeah, sounds great. Why I work in leadership and not in engineering. Sure, you'll be fine, buddy. I have faith. Right, well, it is 10 past 10. I am going to call it a night, but we pretty much managed to finish a miniature this evening. Here he is. So I'll show you the box art. We've not gone completely like the box art, but that's kind of the box art of the miniature. We can get some glare off of that, maybe. There we go. This is Boulder. And this is my representation of Boulder. So I'll give you the full sort of twirly round. But given we started off with a white miniature 2 hours ago, I'm quite happy with where it ended up. The skin is, yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it. Skin is my worst thing to paint. I don't enjoy painting it whatsoever. But yeah, he looks alright. He looks very, not quite Ludo from Labyrinth, but not a million miles away either. But yeah, he's got a nice little trolley like face. There we go. Probably has a better view of him up close. Yeah. What do you reckon, guys? Very cool, looks awesome. Thanks, gentlemen. Yeah, but yeah, we have done him. Ludo, or Boulder as he's known. We'll do his base. I will put a picture on my Instagram of his base when he's done. But that, you've seen me do that a million times. Yeah, there we go. Another miniature done. I will probably cut this video into a speed paint video because they sometimes are a bit fun, showing the start to end process. But yeah. There we go. Right, thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I know this was an impromptu stream, but sometimes that's the best way to do things. I'll be back on this Monday for Monday Night Retro. I might even sneak another painting stream in because I have got a bunch more of these to do. And then next Thursday over on Nerdy Geezer's channel, he's in the chat right now. You can search for Nerdy Geezer and you'll find his channel. We've got a stream called No Late Fees, where we're talking about, is No Late Fees next week, Lee, or is Micromaniacs next week? Anyway, next Thursday is either Micromaniacs, which is all about 8-bit computing, or it is No Late Fees, which is all about nerd culture, movies, and all of that sort of stuff. So and then the Thursday after is the other one of those two shows. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna go to an end screen or anything. I'm just gonna end the stream, all right? Yeah, I will catch you all soon, all right? So thanks very much.